Okay, so it's yoga for shoulders and upper back. And you can see that I'm doing this at home. I have a few props. I have 2 blocks and a strap. You don't necessarily need any of these props. Things that you have at home will work just fine. The strap is honestly going to end up being pretty short for what we'll be using it for. So anything like a towel, like a kitchen towel, or a longer shirt could replace the strap. And in terms of the blocks, we may or may not need them for on either side of you. We will use one overhead. Something that might be similar to the height of the blocks are to stack a couple books on top of each other. And then same thing when we use the block overhead, you might use a set of books or something else that's similar height. This is like maybe a 10-inch block. And then as you're ready, come to a comfortable seated position. I would recommend doing this on the floor, simply just for a couple of the postures that we'll be doing. A lot of this could be done seated at a desk, even on your couch. And as you're here seated, eyes are closed, you take a few moments to settle in. And now take a big deep breath in through the nose. And open up the mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Start to let go of some tension through the shoulders and the upper back. One more time, in through the nose and out the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. And then we start to deepen the breath, and on your next inhale, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. Create lots of tension in the sides of the neck, and then exhale, gently release the shoulders down the back. Create lots of space between the ear and the shoulder. On an inhale, shrug up again. Exhale, release the shoulders. Inhale one more time. And exhale to let that tension go. Release the shoulders down the back. On your next inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Let the gaze follow the hands. And now interlace the fingers, turn the palms up towards the ceiling, and straighten the arms if you can. Press those palms towards the ceiling without jutting out through the rib cage. So you notice here, jutting out through the rib cage means an arch to my low back. The ribs come forward and the arms go back. Let's soften that belly and the ribs. So draw the navel in towards the spine. Let the hands be right over the head. Nice and long through the side bodies, and then keep those shoulders relaxing down away from the ears. So on an inhale, actually, let's shrug up, and almost as if the shoulders are going to touch the ears, and then exhale, create that space again, but keep really long through the side bodies and through the arms. One more inhale here. And exhale, release the hands, interlace the hands at the low back, roll the shoulders back, pinch the shoulder blades towards each other, and then maybe let the gaze come forward. And now it might be a little arch to your low back. And then on your next exhale, release the hands to the lap and roll the shoulders forward, tuck the chin, almost like you're gonna round through the upper back. Inhale, let the heart come forward, roll the shoulders back, lift the gaze. Exhale, round through the shoulders and the upper back, tuck the chin. It's a couple rounds of seated cat and cow here. One more. Exhale. And then inhale back up to that tall spine, relax the shoulders again. Keep those shoulder blades pinching in towards each other. Now if you're not already in a cross-leg position, I think cross legs works best for this posture. And so here's where we get to the 2 blocks or maybe sets of books or something tall on either side of you. And then interlace the hands behind the head. Open up through the elbows without jutting out through the rib cage. So the spine is nice and straight, but the elbows go towards the sides. And then on an exhale, drop over to the right, left elbow up, And the right elbow might drop down onto the block or the set of books. And then maybe they gaze up towards that left elbow and keep that left elbow opening up, pressing back behind you. And then root down equally through both hips. You don't want the left side or the right side come up too much. And inhale, come up through center again, feeling connected through both sits bones, and then exhale, go the other way. Left elbow down, right elbow up. Might feel a nice stretch through the obliques as well as the shoulders, the back body. And then maybe the gaze up towards that right elbow and root down a little more through the right hip. Keep that side pressing down into the mat. And on your inhale, come back up through center. And now you might take the blocks a little further away or lower the height. So if you have books, you might take one book away. And then inhale the hands behind the head again, and exhale, go the first way. Right side down, left side up, and then really roll open through this left rib cage. And if this is too much, take the block back to the same height it was before. The goal here is nice alignment. Inhale, come back up, and exhale, other side, last time. Again, if you find that you're really collapsing or can't necessarily open up a lot through this top shoulder and top elbow, then take the block a little higher. You could even simply take a side body bend on the hand. Inhale, come back up, and exhale, release the hands. A couple shrugs or rollouts through the shoulders, both directions, one at a time or both at once. It's up to you. You do what feels good here. And then a little bit more work for the shoulders and upper back before we make our way onto our belly. So I like kneeling on my shins position for this, but you could do this seated or standing. And here's where we get out that strap or that kitchen towel or a shirt. Something where you can take the hands a little bit wider than your shoulders, and then on an inhale, take the arms up overhead and just go to where your shoulders allow. So if you get stuck about here, you have two options. Widen the hands a little bit more and then keep going, or maybe this is enough. So the shoulders might be tight. It's okay to go a little wider than the shoulders, but not so wide where we're really not working the shoulders to bring the hands all the way behind the hips. That would be the eventual goal, but it doesn't have to happen today. So you go where your body allows. Keep nice and stable and strong through the shoulders, not just hypermobility. And then a few times back and forth. And so it's okay if you pause here. It's okay if you make it behind the back. It might be different today than it would be tomorrow or yesterday. That's expected. And the next time the strap, the towel, the shirt, whatever it is that you have in the hands comes in between, or in front of the hips rather, you can set the strap away for now. And then inhale, bring the arms out to cactus or goalpost or whatever you like to call it. Palms forward, about a 90-degree bend at the elbow, and exhale, release the fingers down towards the floor, and then inhale, take them back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, fingers point up. Couple more rounds. Inhale, exhale, 2 more full rounds. Good, and then release the arms, shake it out where you need to. I feel lots of work done there. And then take the arms back out to cactus. You don't necessarily have to turn sideways, but I like to turn sideways to show you exactly how this looks through the upper body. So arms are out to cactus again, both my arms. You can't necessarily see both sides, but you will. Inhale here, and then exhale. Round through the shoulders and the upper back, just like you did in the seated cat and cow, and see if you can get the palms to press and maybe even the forearms touch in front of the body. Now inhale, open up again. Exhale, touch out in front of the body. Maybe it's the fingertips, maybe it's the palms, maybe it's the forearms. Inhale. Exhale. A couple more. Go at your own pace, moving with your breath. Might be different than mine, and that's okay. One more inhale, exhale, release the arms again, shake out the shoulders, and now find your block, your stack of books, whatever it is, and we're going to take the block or the books on top of the palms of the hands, and then reach the arms up overhead, again without jutting out through the rib cage, nice straight spine, no arch to the low back. Really press that block up towards the ceiling and then release the shoulders, but keep that block or those books pressing. Nice and strong and stable through the shoulder joint here. Think about armpits spinning forward. You should feel the shoulders and maybe even the chest getting a little bit stronger here. And breathe. And continue with the breath as this starts to become difficult. The block or the books will start to feel pretty heavy. Still breathing here, armpits still coming forward. So rather than hypermobility and my arms all the way back behind me, again, the arms are about in line with the head, and I really round and let those shoulders and those armpits come forward. Couple more breaths, reach a little longer. Soften the jaw, corners of the eyes and the belly. Keep breathing. And drop the shoulders down the back a little bit more. And then exhale, release the block off to the side. Go ahead and set all props off to the side, and then we'll make our way onto the belly. Almost finished here. So lower down all the way, and then hands slide back on either side of the waist. So they're not right underneath the shoulders, and they're not too far back on either side of the hips. They're right in between the shoulder and the hip, with the palms pressing into the mat. Elbows about 90 degrees, going straight back, forehead to the mat, and you can see that my toes are not tucked. The tops of my feet and my toenails are resting on the mat. And then inhale. Lift the chest and gaze, couple inches up off the mat. It's like a Superman, but it's called Cobra Pose in yogic language in Sanskrit, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up again, using only the strength of the low back, not the arms. So if I were to ask you to lift the arms here, the upper body wouldn't collapse. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. And if you're not sure, here's an example of really using my arms rather than my low back. My hands are really pressing down into the mat, and then if I were to lift my hands, my upper body would fall. Exhale, lower down. 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Last inhale. Lower down. And now take the left arm forward, and this right arm is going to go over to the left underneath the left arm. So I like to walk my right hand really far over towards the left side of the mat. It's actually off the mat. And then I drop my right shoulder down and reach this left arm long, and maybe the forehead to the mat. Release any tension through the glutes and the low back. And this is a pretty intense shoulder stretch on the right side. So do your best to breathe into it. If it's too intense, you could walk the left hand back a little bit further. But try it out. it's your choice whether you have the right hand back of the hand to the floor or palm. I think it's a little bit more intense if you have the palm of the hand to the floor. You'll see those differences when I show you on the left side. And keep releasing through the low back, let it be soft. Maybe walk that left arm a little longer. Maybe walk the forehead a little closer to the top of the mat, or you could rest it on the block or the book. And then keep dropping that right shoulder away from the ear. Another long breath in and breath out. Big deep breath in. Exhale, let it go, and then uncross the arms. So the right arm is going to go long out in front, and the left hand is going to walk over to the right. And you can see that my palm is facing down. However, palm can be flipped up, a little bit less intense there. I like the variation with the palm flipped down. Left arm is really reaching over to the right. Right arm is reaching long out in front. And then exhale, drop the head down towards the mat. Maybe roll this left shoulder back underneath the chest a little bit more, and then work it down towards the mat. Create lots of space in between the shoulders and the ears. Exhale, drop the head to the mat or to a block. And then if that palm is pressing down, the fingers might want to float up a little bit. See if you can press the palm down a little bit more. And keep breathing. And then on your next inhale, walk this right arm back up towards you. And now we're going to keep this left arm over to the right. Right arm is going to walk over to the left. So we've got both arms crossing, going in opposite directions here. And we'll go to both sides. You could keep the head lifted. You could drop it to the block. Or if it makes it, you could drop it to the mat. Mine doesn't reach. And this is super intense on the shoulders and the upper back. So keep breathing. Holding on to the breath won't make it any better. And do your best to soften in, relax the face, the jaw, the belly, the hips, the low back. Common places where we store the tension or we create tightness when this is difficult. Couple more breaths here. So my right arm is in front of my left. We'll make sure to do both ways. Couple more, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, and then exhale, we'll switch. So my right arm is currently in front of my left. Now I'm going to take it behind my left. Left arm going right, right arm going left, and softening in again. So it doesn't necessarily matter how far the arms walk out. If you're sort of propped up on your elbows and this is really intense, you could stay here, or you noticed that my arms walk further away. I have a bit more space in my shoulders, but it has taken me this time to work the arms this far out. So honor where your body can go today. It's okay if the hands are still on the mat. You're still getting work done here. Do what your body can do. No force, no injury. One more big inhale. And then exhale, uncross the arms. Come on to the belly one more time. Inhaling for cobra. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. With your exhale, lower down. One more time. Exhale. And then press the hips up and back towards the heels. Knees together, big toes together, or knees wide with big toes together, and exhale, child's pose. So we'll finish here, softening the shoulders, reaching the arms long, noticing how the body expands with every inhale, and exhale, the hips soften and come a little closer towards the heels, release through the low back. And spend as much time as you like here. Nice and long through the spine. If you want to open up a little more through the shoulders, you might place hands on blocks or the stacked books. And allow yourself this time to rest in child's pose. So if you wish to stay in child's pose longer, I would recommend pausing this video. And then whenever you've had enough, make your way back up to a comfortable seated position. And then draw your hands together at your heart center if you like. And we'll end this yoga for shoulders and upper back in a very traditional yogic way. So it's here with the hands together at the heart that you give yourself gratitude for doing things that are good for your body, mind, and soul. Gratitude for taking time out of your day to show up to this practice physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And gratitude for continuing to do things that light up your soul. It is an honor and a privilege to get to share yoga with you, and thank you for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste.